Hey everyone, it's Rachel from Sugar Maple Farmhouse, and today I'm going to show you how to make glass tinted gold leaf ornaments. So I almost did not share this ornament craft with you guys because when I originally made these, my goal was to actually just make glass tinted ornaments. However, I didn't really like how those turned out, and I will show you why in the video. There are some things you should know about making glass tinted ornaments, and we'll go over all of that. However, the gold leaf was kind of my fix that I put on it. And then when I did it, I still didn't know, right? Because I just felt like, gosh, this didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. I don't know if I love them with this kind of fix, but I put them on my tree and I ended up really falling in love with them. So I wanted to show them to you just in case you fell in love with them too. Before we get started today, if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel so you can follow along here. I craft, I cook, I DIY, and I garden. I like to keep my hands busy, and if you'd like to keep your hands busy too, I'd love to have you come on over. Let's get started and I'll show you how to make these. To begin, you want to gather your supplies, which are going to be Mod Podge, a mixing bowl, your ornaments, some cups to drain your ornaments into, and a cupcake tin for baking. You'll also need food coloring and some brushes that you don't care about because you won't really be getting them back. Also, later in this, you will see that I do move to mixing in a container with a spout, and I preferred that versus this container that I'm mixing in here because it was easier to pour into the ornaments. When it comes to mixing the colors, you really just have to experiment with that. There is no way for me to really tell you how much of each thing I use to make each color because it really was just experimenting. And you can see here, I just kind of kept mixing until I liked the color. So this first one that I'm mixing together, I added a lot more red into and a lot more green versus what I'm going to do later. But this one is mainly red and green with a little bit of yellow. Even the color you see here is not the final color you'll end up getting. The ornaments will darken as they dry, and then as you bake them, they will darken even further. So really, this color is just something that you kind of find pleasing. You want it to be somewhere in the ballpark of this color and kind of this color family. This is the first color that I mixed up on this project, and I will say I did take a little more time on this color because my original goal was to make amber glass tinted ornaments. But since you already know that didn't work out, that is not what I kind of got. So this one ended up being a kind of dark brown when it was all said and done, and I will show you that. But I really did love the color. It did really kind of come out more of a vintage amber color, which does tint more brown versus a red. Once you have the color in a place that you like it, you want to pour the color into your ornament. So you can see here I transferred to this little cup with a pour spout. I eventually end up just mixing my color in that cup because it was just easier than dirtying two things. You really want something with a pour spout that will get it into the ornament much easier. Once you pour some paint into the ornament, you want to just kind of swirl it around in your hands so that the glue and food coloring mixture coats everything. Also, make sure to keep paper towels nearby. Some of this will be kind of messy and you might want to wipe your hands off. I ended up getting some glue mix on the outside of the ornament, and you really do want to wipe that off and kind of clean the surface of the ornament before you go on to the baking part of this. Also, just so you guys know, I have sped this up by about 50% so that it would move a little faster for you, but doing one color set took me about 45 minutes. And then after that, there was the baking. Speaking of baking them, this is a good time to tell you, you do need to use glass ornaments to do this. Because they have to be baked, you cannot use plastic, so they must be glass ornaments that you do this with. Once you have the ornaments coated, you want to turn them upside down and put them in glasses. You can also use paper cups. The reason is because you want to get as much glue out as possible. So this will help the glue drip out of the ornaments before you get to the baking portion. So I'm mixing up another batch of color here. You do go through the glue pretty fast. So I ended up using a container and a half of Mod Podge. I don't remember the ounces on it, but I do have that information on the blog post, and I do have that in my Amazon supply list, the exact one I used. So you guys can find the ounces information in both of those places. But again, I used 1.5 of those. Then in terms of the food coloring, I used about 1.5 containers of the red and about 1 container of green. With the yellow, I was just literally adding drops into the food coloring mix, so I wasn't using a ton of yellow in any of these, just a little tinting to make them not so red or so green. One of the things you can do to reserve some of your glue mix supply is that you can use the glue that dripped from the other ornaments that are finished in those containers and pour them back into your pour container. So you can take all that dripped out and use it again. Once you feel like the ornaments have dripped out enough, you can put them in your cupcake tin. So here's the part that I didn't absolutely love with this project. Once the ornaments go into your cupcake tin, once you've dripped them out as much as you want to, they are going to get baked, and they get baked at 200 degrees for about 45 minutes. This is going to darken the color and it's going to solidify the glue for you, so it won't drip out after that. However, no matter what side you lay your ornament on, you are going to end up with a spot where some of the excess glue has been. Now, after playing with this and experimenting with a few of these, I decided that I would try turning some of them to see if it made it less obvious. It did not. You can see the outcome here. So what I decided is I preferred to have my glue all in one spot, whether it was on the bottom, in the back, or something like that. I just did not want it kind of looking like giant drips in these. So I ended up leaving them all so that I would just get spots. So you can see this one went back in the oven. It's still a little pink there, but all of this eventually darkens. And then even after they cool, it darkens some more. So these colors are not the final colors that I had coming out. That said, no matter what you do, you will end up with spots. You cannot put these downward facing in the cupcake tins, like the opening going down, because number one, they need to vent, and number two, I tried this with some glasses and I actually found out that the glue ended up dripping out of the glass and I had clear streaks where there was no glue at all. So because of those drips and the big spots, this is why I decided to gold leaf. So this is the start of that process. Essentially, you're going to use a gold leaf glue and put it all over the ornament. Then, or at least in the spots where you want the gold leaf to stick. Then I like to wrap the ornaments in gold leaf and leave them to dry for a few minutes. Once I had a couple of these done, I picked up the first one that I worked on and I started brushing off some of the gold leaf. So you don't want it to necessarily just be a full ornament of gold leaf, and that's why you should end up brushing some of it off. So in the one I'm doing now, you can see I didn't do too much of that, but I brushed off a little of it and then I went back in with the gold leaf adhesive and went over the gold leaf just like you would if you were Mod Podging something. You do need two paintbrushes for this process, and you will not get either of them back. The one will end up having the gold leaf adhesive all over it, and the other one is really for wiping the gold leaf off, but that ends up having gold leaf adhesive all over it too by the time you're done with this project. Now I brushed out my gold leaf a lot once it was attached, and I added pieces to specific places if I wanted it there, and just to make it look a little more, I guess, vintage and authentic versus just something that I placed as a sheet onto the ornament. Once you are done Mod Podging and brushing and doing all of that, you need to let the ornaments dry. So I just put them back in the holders that they came from and waited for them to dry. I will say that these stay a little tacky, but you really don't have a way around that when you're using the gold leaf adhesive. You need to use that adhesive. And I just took them, put the caps back in and hung them on my tree, and they are drying more on my tree right now. Here is the final outcome. I did end up leaving some of these plain. I did end up liking the way they looked on the tree. And I used some bronze leaf too, but I really love the ones that I used the gold leaf on. I preferred it over the bronze leaf. I just think it gave the ornaments a beautiful, vintage, and unique look. This one here is one of those original red ones that I was working on, so you can see the final color and how that ended up looking here. Did make these brighter green ones, and they were a combination of mostly green with just a drop or two of red and then some yellow. I ended up loving though the darker colors. I think that they looked perfect on the tree and that they had the look that I was really going for. I'm hoping to do a little house tour before the end of the season so I can show you this full tree and this room, but I will hopefully be doing that next week. I'm not quite ready to do that just yet. There's just one more thing I want to finish. Thank you guys so much for following along today. I hope that you love the glass tinted gold leaf ornament craft. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the comment section below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Also, there is a full tutorial for this craft up at sugarmaplefarmhouse.com, and I will leave that in the description below. Again, if you've not subscribed to our channel, I hope that you'll come on over and subscribe. I cook, I craft, I DIY, and garden. There's a little bit of everything happening here, and if you like a little bit of everything, I'd love to have you join us. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.